Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I have for you guys the weaponization of FBI investigation targeted at least 430 Republicans. This is from Fox News Clips. So let's go ahead and jump right into the video.
Joining me now, one of the members targeted by the probe, it's Wisconsin Republican Senator Ron Johnson. Senator Johnson, a few weeks ago, we had some of your colleagues here on the program, and you yourself have spoken about having your records, your phones, surveilled and questioned. Now we understand the numbers are outstanding. It's 430 entities and Republicans fished or investigated by Biden's DOJ.
Well, obtaining the phone records of members of Congress is an outrageous violation of separation of powers, but it's just the tip of the iceberg. The information we got from a whistleblower, I need to underscore that. We need more whistleblowers. I think Patel and Pam Bondia, they're trying to do everything they can, but it's hard to gain control over these agencies that were, part of the deep state. They're still deep state actors burrowed in, trying to do everything they can to sabotage their ability to produce information documents to Congress. So again, this is just the tip of the iceberg. We need that information. We need whistleblowers to come forward. But this, and I said in the press conference, this was an enemies list. We got 1,700 pages, about 197 subpoenas. These weren't targeted subpoenas. These were, asking for everything but the kitchen sink to, all these different entities, all conservative, all Republican, clearly a partisan political exercise, and the timeline is really stark. I mean, President Trump announced his candidacy on November 15th. They appoint Jack Smith special counsel 3 days later, and right. all this activity really occurs after that. But again, what they're doing is they're trying to criminalize, for example, what JFK did in Hawaii, where there's a dispute in that election. They had an alternate slate of electors. Good thing they did, because he won the case, and so they had alternate slate of electors to cast their votes for JFK. That's all that President Trump did. Everything that people like Judge Troops in Wisconsin did was all above board, all legal, good lawyering, quite honestly. And yet Jack Smith, our Wisconsin Attorney General Josh Call, they're trying to criminalize what good lawyers did for their clients. It's really sick.
If we walked down the street to any county courthouse and met with the prosecutor, I think he would be laughed out of a judge's office if he wanted to subpoena or get a warrant for phone records of a group this broad, 430, where really the only commonality, at least from this distance, that can be seen is they all have next to their name an R. It's hard to see the case that this was investigating, as they say, a quote-unquote legitimate crime.
Yeah, again, there is no legitimacy to this investigation. It's completely political, as has been the case ever since Donald Trump came down that.
Yeah, remember, they were after Donald Trump since he announced he was running. And then even when he got, during his first presidency, which is why he couldn't do nothing, he was basically handcuffed. Because every time he tried to do something, they were purposely trying to stop him. And then when he decides to run again, they came after him again. And it's so funny to me because the people on the left are always like, oh, they're crying, whining, and, moan. Oh, they're going after, Trump is going after his political opponents, democracy. And it's like, but y'all did that. Y'all did that first. Like, what are you talking about? But, oh, no, it's okay when they do it. We're just not allowed to do it. Make that make sense. And obviously, just from what he's saying, the fact that they're going after normies, it's not even no longer about President Trump or politicians. They went after even podcasters. Like, for example, they went after Tim Pool. Like, anybody that spoke up against the Democrats, they went after, and they were trying to imprison, which is ridiculous because they don't have the right for free speech. Like, they're literally trying to tie these people, to a post and not allow them to even speak anymore. Then you also had them go after Trump's lawyers. Like, what the heck is that? All of that is just crazy madness. And, one of the charges that they went after Trump for, which was mortgage fraud, which was something that everybody that buys a house goes through, because even the banks had said it, the assessors had said that. They're like, everything he did was correct. We want to keep working with this guy because we made millions, but the judge wasn't having it, right? And so now that the tables have turned, right? Now they are doing this to Letitia James because, tit for tat, that's what they're trying to say. But hey, she broke the law. She did that. But hers was actually bad, like legitimately bad. She caught up. So maybe you shouldn't be charging somebody with something that you have. It's like those in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. I'm just saying.
Escalator in New York back in 2015, 2016. Again, this is a weaponization of the federal government. We know exactly what President Biden thought about half of America, that we're all potential domestic terrorists, and he sicked his federal agencies. He weaponized them against ordinary Americans. Again, there are 38 Wisconsinites that are targeted on the enemies list in the most recent documents we released. I know most of these people. They are God-fearing, country-loving, law enforcement respecting individuals. They would never think of committing a crime. They're involved in politics because they want to save this country. They love this country. It is sick. It is outrageous that they would be on the Biden administration enemies list.
Well, those God-fearing Americans, those normal Americans that you reference, and their elected officials like yourself, Senator Johnson. Last question. You say this is the tip of the iceberg. Well, this is one hell of a tip. What else are you expecting or hoping can be revealed, as you mentioned, by whistleblowers?
Well, we need to find out exactly the coordination between, Letitia James or Fannie Willis, Jack Smith, but also with Wisconsin Attorney General Josh Kaul and the Biden administration. We need all those internal communications. We haven't got any of that yet. And again, I understand Kash Patel and Pam Bondi are expected to clean up so many enormous messes left behind and, trying to get control over these very partisan departments and agencies left behind by the Biden administration. But, time's running out. We need to keep winning elections, because if a Democrat president gets elected next time, those agencies return to exact same kind of weaponization status that they were during the Biden administration and the Obama administration.
All right. Thank you for your time today, Senator Ron Johnson.
Yeah, I think if Democrats come back into power, they already said it, they're going after everybody. They're going to go scorched earth. And that will leave a lot of people, that are right-leaning or patriotic, even if you're just like on the tip of like the line. So like, let's say this is the line and it goes this way left, this way right. Even if you're just like, they're going to come after you because they don't want any more pushback. They're just going to, and they've said it. They've been saying it. And it's crazy because nobody's taking it serious, and you really should. I mean, they proved it going after Trump and going after his attorneys and going after normal people. They proved that they want power, and they're going to get it any way they can. So, this is our stand. This is our line in the sand. We need to just hold a line and stand strong, because I'm going to tell you this right now. Even if they came after me, I don't care. I'm not going to, bend the knee to anybody. I've never been like that my entire life, and I'm never going to start doing that. I don't care. I'm more like, I'd rather die on my feet than live on my knees, because that's just how it is. I'm too strong-spirited to not fight, and I would definitely fight, because that's my spirit. But you guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. What do you think would happen if the Dems do get power again? Do you think they will come after all the normies that spoke up against them, or do you think everything would just be copacetic? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Till next time, guys.